Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to be learning how to make a simple shirt with a jogger's waistband. So for this shirt, I made use of an African print fabric and the amount of fabric I used is 1.5 yards. If you would like to learn how I made this buba top, I'll be dropping the link in the description box. So let's start with the front piece. I folded my fabric into two. To know the wideness of the fold you divide your hip measurement into two and then you add extra 6 inches allowance to that. So guys, for this shirt, I'm going to be making a jogger's waistband, but this time around, we're not going to be attaching an external waistband. So please pay attention. So because of the waistband, I'm going to be marking 2 inches away from the top of the fabric, and then I'll draw a straight line across this point I marked. So this 2 inches I marked is for the waistband. So I'm just going to fold this in so we don't get confused. Now, from the waistline here, I'm going to place my tape all the way down to mark my crotch. My crotch is 12 inches and I'm going to draw a straight line across this point I marked. Now, from the waistline again, I'm going to place my tape all the way down to mark my desired shirt length. So I want the length of my shirt to be 16 inches. So I added extra 2 inches folding allowance to make it 18 inches altogether. So I'm going to draw a straight line across this point. After this, I went ahead to spread out the waistband. This is the waist, the crotch, and the full length of the shirt. So since there'll be an elastic band around the waist, we are not going to be working with the waist measurement, but we'll be working with the hip measurement instead. So I'll divide my hip measurement into two and then I'll place the measurement directly on the crotch line from the center fold of the fabric here. After marking my hip measurement, I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches for his. Now, I'm going to extend this point I marked vertically upward to meet the waist. To get the crotch extension, you divide your hip measurement by 16. Whatever you get, you mark it from this point. So mine was 2.3. I marked it here. Now I'm going to connect this new point into the straight line using the curved side of my ruler, and this would form the crotch curve. Now make sure that the curve isn't too deep so that after stitching it doesn't squeeze around the crotch. All right, guys. So the next thing to do is to take the measurement you have on the crotch line here. This is 14 inches. Now I'm going to subtract 1 inch from it, and that will be 13. Then I would mark 13 inches on the hem line to connect this point to meet the crotch extension. So now before cutting out the front piece, I'm going to be adding just half of an inch to the hem, and then I would connect this point upward to form a little triangular shape. The reason I'm doing this is that by the time you sew the front piece and the back piece of the shirt together and then you want to secure the folding allowance around the hem, so this half inch I added to the hem would make it easy for you to fold the hem properly. When we get to that stage, you would understand. Now just go ahead to cut out your front piece just like you see me doing, and then I'm going to go ahead to slit the center fold now. So we have two pieces for the front. Now I'm going to fold my actual fabric into two and then I'll go ahead to place the front piece directly on it. So guys, I forgot to mark the hip line initially, but it's not an issue. What we need to do now is just to fold the waistband inward. Then you place your tape on the waistline to mark your hip line. Mine is 9 inches, so I marked it here. Now I went ahead to spread out the waistband and then extended all the vertical lines into the back piece. So usually the waist for the back piece is usually higher than the waist for the front piece. So for this reason, I'm going to be adding 1 inch above the waist line of the front piece. So from the center waistline, I'm going to add 1 inch to the top and then I'll extend this point. Now on the waist, I'm going to be adding 2 inches allowance. On the hip line, I'll be marking 2 inches allowance to connect it to meet the waistline. Now for the crotch, I'm going to be marking 2.5. If you're a plus size person, you can mark 3 inches. And then I'll connect this point together to form a curve. Now at the bottom here, I'm going to be marking just 2 inches. And then remember that we added half of an inch allowance to the side of the bottom to form a triangular shape so that it will be easy for us to fold the hem properly. Now once you've done this, You're going to connect the waist on the side to meet the top of the center waistline for the back piece. So you can see that the waistline for the back is 1 inch higher than the front. It's obvious. So you just go ahead to cut out the white lines following the direction of the chalk. You can then go ahead to slit the center fold of the back piece. So we are done cutting both the front piece and the back piece of the shirt. Now I will head over to the sewing machine to stitch the center of the back piece by 1/2 inch following the direction of my chalk. So I'm gonna head to stitch the center of the back piece. Now for the front piece, it's quite technical but very easy. Remember I said I'm going to show you guys how to make a joggers waistband without having to stitch an external waistband. So this is basically what we are doing here. So the first step is to fold the band using the folding allowance you had it as a guide. Then you would draw a line using the edges of the folding allowance. Now you have these two lines here. We are going to be working with just these two lines. You are going to mark 1/2 inch below the first line and 1/2 inch above the second line. Take note of this, please. Now, once you are done with that, you are going to make your stitch starting from the top here, and then you stop at this point. Now you are going to give a space to start another stitch from this second point, and you stitch all the way down to the crotch. So this simply means that we'll be having an opening of about 1 inch on this side. So I've gone ahead to stitch it, and this is how it should be. So here you can see that we've created a hole here, and this is the hole in which the elastic and the rope would be inserted or passed through. Alright, so now what we are going to do now is to head over to the sewing machine to stitch the seam allowance. That's the edge of the seam allowance on this side, just following the direction of the chalk. The essence of doing this is for this part to be properly relaxed. So after stitching, this is how it should be. You can see I stitched the edges of the seam allowance, and this is the front. You can see how neat it is. So that's basically how to go about that part. Now the next thing we need to do is to cut out the pockets that will be attached to the sides of this pant. For the pockets, I folded the fabric into four, and for the width of the pocket, I'm going to be marking just 7 inches. Now I'm going to assume that I've inserted my hand into the pocket and use this as a guide in cutting out or shaping my pocket. So I'm just going to go ahead to spread my fingers and then just use this to form a pocket. It's very easy to do. Then you go ahead to trace it out properly. After this, you'd use your scissors to cut out the pocket. So I have four pockets, two on the side and two on this other side. Now this is the front piece of my pants. I'm going to place the pockets by the edges. But before doing that, I'm going to mark 3 inches from the waistline here. And then I'm going to place the pockets directly on that point. Right side of the pocket on the right side of the fabric to stitch by 1/2 inch, and I'll repeat the same thing on this side as well. Now for the back piece, I'm going to mark 3 inches as well from the waistline by the edges to place the pocket directly on it, and then I would head over to stitch by 1/2 inch. I would mark 3 inches on the side as well to place the pocket directly on that point to stitch by 1/2 inch. After stitching all the pockets, this is how it should be. So this is the back piece of my shirt. Now I'm going to place the right side of the front piece directly on the back piece. You would notice that the back piece is wider than the front piece, which is normal. Now the next thing you need to do is to align the sides, that's the edges of both the front piece and the back piece together, and then you go ahead to pin them together. Now I'm going to also align this other side, making sure that the edges of both the front piece and the back piece are together, and then I would use my pin to hold them properly. Now I'll head over to my sewing machine to stitch the edges. together by 1 inch, following the direction of my choke. After stitching the sides of the shirt, the next step is to stitch the bottom of the shirt here. Make sure that you align the crotch line of both the front piece and the back piece together, then you stitch by 1 inch as well. After stitching, the next step is to turn the shirt to the right side of the fabric. So I've gone ahead to give the shirt a quick press. Now the next step is to mark the allowance you added for the waistband. I added 2 inches. So I'm going to use this point I marked as a guide in folding the waistband all through. Now, what you should understand is that if you added 3 inches from the beginning, that's from the onset for your waistband, maybe you wanted the waistband to be wider than mine, then it simply means that when you get to this stage, you just mark 3 inches and use it as a guide in folding the waistband. So this is basically how it's going to be. Remember that the front waistline is lower than the back waistline. All right, now I'm going to use my pressing iron to hold the fold so that it will be very easy for me to stitch. So the next step is to fold the edges of the waistband inward, and then you head over to your sewing machine to stitch all through the waist. After stitching, this is how it should be. You can see that it's properly secured, and then from here you would notice that the hole we made initially is still at the center front of the pants. Now what we are going to do next is to fold the hem of the shirt. Since I added 2 inches folding allowance initially, I'm also going to mark 2 inches here, and then I would also mark 2 inches on this other side as well. So using this point I chalked, I'm going to use it as a guide in folding the hem. So now I'm going to use the pressing iron to give it a quick press, and then I would head over to the sewing machine to secure the edges by 1/2 inch all around the hem opening, and I'll repeat the same folding process for this other leg opening. After stitching the hem, this is how it should be, and the final step is to insert the elastic into this hole at the center front of the waistline. So for the elastic, my waist measurement is 26 inches, so I'm just going to subtract 2 inches from that, and that would be 24 inches. So I would cut the elastic to be 24 inches. So whatever your waist measurement is, subtract 2 inches from that to get the length of the elastic. After this, I'm going to insert the elastic by passing it through this hole at the center front of the waist. So in order not to waste much of your time, I'll just complete it off camera, and then once you get the two ends of the elastic, you head over to the sewing machine to stitch by 1/2 inch. And after stitching the elastic, this is how it should be. Now you're going to stretch out the waist of the shirt so that the elastic goes in properly. Now the next thing we are going to do is to mark 1/2 inch from the top of the waist and 1/2 inch above the stitching on the waist. Take note of that. Now we are going to head over to the sewing machine to make a straight stitch following the first point, and make a second stitch following the second point all through. So we are stitching directly on the elastic, and while stitching, make sure you stretch out the waist. If you are very familiar with my tutorial, you must have seen how I made the stitches in previous tutorials when making joggers also. So we still have our hole opened here. What we are going to do now is, that's the final step, is to insert the strap into the hole. So I'm just going to complete the rest of camera, making sure that the strap comes out from the other side of the hole. So it's very easy, and you can see that it's actually very simple to make these shirts. You can actually use the same pattern if you want to make a longer pant. So this is the final outcome. You should give it a try. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next tutorial. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my tutorials, and turn on your notification bell. Bye for now.